Hello, I'm LisaKay.
And I'm Taylor Cole Longacre.
Welcome to Intentional Talk, a show with purpose that brings live interviews from nationally and internationally recognized speakers that bring some light, that brings some of themselves to the audience.
Well, today we're excited because we have Kelly Accetta with us. She is an internationally renowned speaker. She is a truth coach, and she's also an author. And I call her friend. Phenomenal lady. Welcome, Kelly.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, welcome.
We are excited to talk with you. So you're calling yourself a truth coach. I want to know, what is that?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked that question because, I, a long time ago, found myself believing a lot of the lies that I kept telling myself. And, if we tell ourselves things long enough, we start believing them. So, for example, I kept saying I could never get back to my goal weight after kids. Well, I kept saying it for so long. And so as a truth coach, I dig in and find those lies that you might be telling yourself. And actually, let's get to the root of what really is the truth.
Okay, so you help women and men,
yes,
identify their personal truths. Yeah. Okay.
What's really true?
What's really
what
true?
What they've accepted as truth, and what's really true,
and what we want to accept.
Yes, and develop a new truth.
Okay.
Kelly, how did you come up with the title?
Oh, how to diffuse the landmines we plant in our lives. That is, I can't take credit for it. It was, I think, a God moment. A woman who was a very well-respected author, and I had a ton of respect for, at a women's conference, asked me what I did for a living. And I just blurted this out as kind of the synopsis of everything that I do. I said, I help women diffuse the landmines they plant in their lives. Wow. And she looked at me, and she's an amazing woman. And she said, that's the title of your next book. And I had never considered writing a book.
Wow.
So it was amazing.
Well, congratulations on writing that. Now, I understand you coach, and there's a lot of terms for life coaches, business coaches, athletic coaches, but you really help people identify their truth. Tell us a little bit about the types of people you coach and what are you helping them through specifically now?
Well, with COVID hitting, I really was just serving my client base in such a different way. So many people were having to figure out how to work from home, how to balance kids and spouse and space and all of the different things. And so I was coaching a lot on helping people redirect, their living than their lifestyle. Also, company owners that I've coached, helped them really dig in and figure out how they could still stay profitable during this shutdown and all of that. So I love coaching companies and corporate, entrepreneurs who are small business owners, going to corporations that are a mess and help them establish a positive culture. And I also love coaching women and helping them really get out of their own way, because I was in my own way so many times with a lot of those landmines and I didn't realize it. Can't see the forest through the trees when you're in it sometimes.
Yeah. Yes.
I've actually read your book, and it is so easy. I mean, I couldn't even put it down. So there's a lot of good information in there for even men, not just women.
Thank you. I'm actually starting a book for men, and I'm excited about that. I'm going to be interviewing different successful men and talking to them about how they've dealt with these different landmines of insecurity, parental guilt, comparison, insecurity, doubt.
Well, we think men are always so strong, and I guess you're finding out in reality and through your coaching that it's definitely something that men face as well as women.
Shows up differently, but they still go through it just like we do.
Kelly, I've noticed you've spoken quite a bit about women, gender, pay gap, raises, promotions, having that confidence. What types of things are you talking about nowadays, especially as women are striving to climb the ladder and to really thrive in the corporate workplace? And I'm a corporate girl, so I've been through a lot of it with Fortune 500 companies.
Absolutely. And I was just telling LisaKay that just finished a course called Calm the Chaos. And the first module is unlocking happiness, because we can't deal with chaos until we're happy. The second module is all on discovering your worth. And I give you tools on how to research what you do, how to figure out, because so many women, we take on a position with a company But 2 years later, we're doing 10 other different things.
Oh, yes.
Without a higher, without a pay increase.
Yes.
And we as women do that. And so this whole module takes women through, okay, what's your original job description and what are you doing now? And let's do the research and let's dig in and go to the associations that you're a part of and find out what your job is supposed to be being paid. And then let's go ask for it. And I give them scripts, I give them videos to kind of watch what would happen if your boss said no, what would he say? All these different tools, because that is truly one of the biggest reasons why in this day and age, it used to be different just 10 years ago, but in this day and age, one of the biggest reasons we aren't getting paid what we are worth is because we don't, as women, ask.
Right.
And when we do ask, we ask for 30% less than what men traditionally ask for.
Goodness. And I love that you articulated that we pile on extra stuff that really wasn't in the job description in the beginning. And then we wonder why we're overloaded and overworked, stressed out. So we've taken it on voluntarily.
Exactly. And I'll give one more tip. Stop doing things that are traditionally grunt work type jobs. If you want to look like the grunt work person in the office, then just keep, doing every little thing that comes up that's grunt work. Now, can we pitch in and do our part? Of course. But if you're taking notes at every meeting, you're getting the food for you're doing all of the grunt work, it's really hard for your peers and your bosses to look at you as a leader.
Yeah.
To look at you.
And women just traditionally that's just kind of something we do as women. And it can really damage our image to the people that matter.
Yeah.
You mentioned, I'm going to step outside of this part. You mentioned in your book that your story is a lot like Oprah's story. What did you mean by that?
Actually, I talked about how bitterness and unforgiveness, we can either grow in our life or we can go the other direction. And I don't compare my story to Oprah at all because her story is tremendous. Just a little, but she went through so much. Oh, and it's in the chapter of victim mentality. That's where I was really talking about it. We have the choice every single moment of every single day, whether or not we want to be the victim or the victor in our life. And Oprah went through more than I went through. Even though I went through a sexual assault, I went through alcoholic father, alcoholic stepfather, drug addict,
She did too.
brother, all the things that I went through. I could have chose to be the victim or to pick myself up and figure out how to heal and be the victor. And she was such an inspiration for me when I was going through a lot of my trials, because I just looked at
It's funny, I read that part because right as the time of reading this, I'm listening to her stories over and over and over and picking a lot out for myself as well. So that's why that really drew my attention.
She's such an inspiration to so many.
She really is. Well, Kelly, tell me what role faith plays in your day-to-day life and how you navigate through all the things that you're responsible for.
Well, my faith is foundational to everything that I do. I would not have that book if I didn't have God just really giving him permission to do his will in my life. And that is over and over and over again, my healing from my divorce, when my husband of 26 years decided to go in a different direction. That was devastating. And my entire career, my friendship circle, everything was just wiped clean. So I see God in everything that I've now accomplished and done.
That's great. Well, we will pause there. We love talking with you, Kelly.
Absolutely.
We will pause and we will be recording part 2 soon of Intentional Talk with LisaKay and Taylor.